And when you get into these square or even closed putting stances, I believe that creates additional complexity with the shoulder that's really unnecessary. I evolved with more of an open stance just because I have a bad back, and it seemed to cause problems for me to be square here. So part of it was just out of necessity. But what I found was that when I'm more open, it seems to be easier to just push the putter back on the target line or let it arc slightly inside, then return it. Whereas when I squared up, I got into these weird machinations with the shoulder. Now, again, you can take that with a grain of salt, but I'd like you to do an experiment at home. I would like you to grab a golf ball in each hand, or any kind of a ball, a tennis ball, doesn't matter, and pretend you're putting. In other words, address the ball, or pretend you're addressing a ball, and just have your arms hanging parallel with your legs, and just try to go back and through, and try to release the balls at the same time. And what you'll find is that typically the left hand will drop the ball on the line, either in line with the target or to the left, and the right hand will send the right hand ball that way. So I got to thinking, well, lots of teachers advocate a little bit of an open stance while chipping. And I thought, well, why is that okay for chipping but not for putting? And so I repeated this experiment with an open stance. And what I found was that you can quite easily toss these balls in a line in the same direction. So that this hits the ground in front of the ball, the right-handed ball, but they should both, if they're released at the same time, they should hit the ground at the same time, more or less, and roll in the same direction. So, you know, if you were scooping water out of a trough and putting out a fire the old-fashioned way with a bucket, you know, you don't grab a bucket of water facing this way and then throw water this way unless you want to throw your back at it. You split the difference and you throw it like so. Okay? So I actually think that's easier on your back too. So it's a hypothesis that I haven't proven, in the sense that I don't have a data set with thousands and thousands of golfers, but what I can tell you from my experience is that only a very small minority of golfers, good, bad, and professional, ever hooked or hit this squarely on their first few attempts. It's almost always a slice, and of those who slice, that was perfect. They addressed the traditional way, which is square to the target. So, when Jeff says don't putt with your right hand, he's right. But I would like to add that I believe that not only does the Torpedo putter help with the grip pressure problems that Jeff talks about, it can also help with left-handed putting, because if you concentrate on getting this thing into the air with the left hand, another square putt, then that promotes it. So in addition to this left-handed concept of push the Torpedo back and then let it drop, not like this, but you have to have a structure, as Jeff calls it, everything together, dropping. If you're too squared up, I believe that it still promotes a slicing of the ball, which has its own set of problems, which I've already discussed in detail. So experiment with that. Build yourself a wobbly putter. Take an open stance at home. Perfect. I should putt with this. Perfect. easier on the back, at least my back. So try that at home. Also, just take a couple of balls at home. Try to drop them on the same line. See my hand going out here. Can't go anywhere else. You can't continue to follow here. It's unnatural. It hurts my back. Open up. Just throw it out. Throw the bath water out without the baby. So play with that. And don't forget to look for my podcast on golfsmarter.com. I'll be doing that on August 1st, and it should hit the airwaves probably a couple of weeks from that time. So torpedogolf.com, golfsmarter.com, and Jeff Mangum's fabulous, it's like the Library of Alexandria of Golf, puttingzone.com.